Hey everybody, welcome to Spill the Novelty, where three girlies shout to the void about our latest book hot takes and obsessions. I'm Abby,
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Kaylee.
and this week we're doing a short episode about our top three favorite reads and our least favorite read of 2024 to recap a really exciting year. So here's the tea.
All right. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to go with my third favorite book. Yeah. So third favorite book for me was Book Lovers. I know you guys had previously read that one, but I hadn't. It was first for me. I think we read it like pretty early on in the year. Yeah, just a really, really good book. My first kind of dipped my toes into the contemporary romance type genre, which normally I don't read, and I loved that one.
We got her.
We got her, girls.
You did.
And then we immediately ruined her with
Yes.
funny story.
Funny story.
Yes.
That's okay. It's okay. Slay Queen. We love book lovers. Okay, so my number 3 is Six Scorched Roses by our darling Carissa. We love her. We love this book. We all love this book. Honestly, I wish it was like 7 times as long. I could have read it forever. I wanted it all. Abby's already giving me a mean mug look. It's okay. It's okay. Just let me live. Okay.
No, I agree. Give me 800 pages. I'll take it.
Exactly. I'll take anything. Oh, also, I have to give a disclaimer. I didn't include any books that I had previously read because otherwise my list would be so uninteresting because like Six Crows is like my favorite book of all time. Okay. But I still love them. So just know these are only new. These are only new books for me.
Sounds good.
Great pick. Yeah. Tough choices. I have to give number 3 to none other than Phantasma. We were obsessed. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you should know. Amazing book. So Phantasma number 3 for me.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, number 2 for me was Phantasma. So
Slay.
Not really surprising. Phantasma was so good. It was so good. It was. If you haven't read
So
it, read it. The only reason it's not number 1 for me was because the ending. We talk about it in our episode. So that's all I'm gonna say.
So my number 2 is The Familiar. I love this book. I know you all are.
Her faces.
Huh?
Our faces are so funny. Like our
Abby's.
reactions to saying The Familiar.
It's partially me remembering too, because we've read so much this year that I'm like trying to remember it, but then also
we
I
have read so
thoughts.
much. Yeah, you guys neglected The Familiar. It's fine. I'm a little wounded, but it's okay. I loved The Familiar. Okay, I still think about the braiding the hair scene or whatever. Girl, she slayed.
Okay, yes. It's coming back to me. I
We
feel like
didn't
I
like
had
that
some
one,
beef.
Abby.
Okay, I was about to say I think I had some.
Yeah,
beef
I
with
think
The
you did
Familiar,
have
but
beef.
I liked it in theory, and I also loved what's his name, the lead.
Yeah,
guy.
the lead was so good.
What was
By
his
the way,
name?
example of a non-shadow daddy that we loved. So
yes,
The opposite of a shadow daddy. Yeah, he's like.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good boy.
yeah,
He's a good boy.
he's still dark in his own way. Yeah. T. Okay, I'm gonna keep thinking on that one. So number 2, I have to give to Maddie's personal fave, Six of Crows. Stellar, stunning, no notes. I totally get why it's your fave and why Kaz Brecker is for the girls. Agree. Totally agree. Loved it.
I'm weak.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And last but not least, number 1 for me, we've already mentioned it, not surprising, it's Six Scorched Roses. Vale and Lilith are amazing. It's just, yeah, it's so good.
So good.
Go read it, please. Yes.
My number 1, again, we've already mentioned it. It's Phantasma. Okay, I know we have beef with the ending, but I just loved everything else so much. I don't even care that much about the ending being weird as hell. It's so good. I still think about it all the time. Like I think about the trials and how good they were and how engaging it was. And I just loved it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good food. That's like the number 1 book that I'm recommending to people this year of like read this.
Yes.
Especially if you're new to romantasy or whatever, like read this book. I'm so confident that the average casual readers will love it.
And even if you've been in romantasy for a while, I think that this is it touches some of the tropes, but it's a different change of pace. It gets the tropes right and introduces some really new things. So it's very refreshing if you've also been reading a ton of it like us. So yeah.
And it's pretty much a standalone. I mean, there is a follow-up book, but it's different characters. So it works as a standalone. So if you're like kind of what's the word? Intimidated by a whole series, this is a good one to dip your toes into the romance.
It's on Kindle Unlimited, I think, unless it was taken off
We're
Kindle
really selling it.
I think it still is.
We need you to read Phantasma. Get with it, girls.
Please.
You won't regret it. And then my number one, like y'all been talking about, Six Scorched Roses. Incredible. I do not need it to be longer because it is a novella. Girls, it's a novella, and that's why it's really good.
Okay, you won.
There's a reason why it's a novella. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why. And top of just being an amazing story. If you haven't read many novellas, or if you're just like kind of want to try one out, if you read the rest of the series along with it, I guess you don't technically have to, but that'll make it a lot better. So amazing novella, 10 out of 10.
You know what I think is interesting is both of our number ones. So Six Scorched Roses, to me, the main character reads as autistic. And then in Phantasma, the main character reads as having OCD. So I think it's really interesting that both of our top reads, the main characters are kind of dealing with those mental challenges. Because it makes them so much more complex and interesting. Yeah, neurodivergency. Like, it's good food. It's good food.
Such strong POVs too.
Iconic.
Yeah, good representation for sure.
Love it.
I agree. I also threw in, I don't know if I'm breaking the rules, I threw in a runner-up just because I had to mention
of course.
Runner-up for me, Book of Night. And it's kind of similar to Phantasma, if you haven't read it. But I liked the romance in Phantasma more than I liked it in Book of Night, because there's not really that romance in Book of Night, but there probably will be in the next book. So yeah, that's a good runner-up.
It's a good runner-up. We do love Book of Night. We really love Book of Night.
It was a fun time.
I think for me, okay, I approached the honorable mentions a little differently. These were books that were not for me, and that overall I wasn't super happy with for one reason or another, but there was really good content in them that they stuck with me. Certain bits and certain parts. So I just want to give a shout out to Tress of the Emerald Sea and Song of Achilles, because I think they are really exceptional books for other people. Like, I think they're someone's perfect book, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They weren't my perfect book, but they were really, really strong, and something stuck with me from them. So I want to shout out the good writing there.
Song of Achilles is also my honorable mention, and I do think it's Song of Achilles is a little bit different pace and different style, of course, than a lot of the other romantasy and stuff that we read. But Song of Achilles also is kind of in like other types of stuff I like to read and stuff as well. And people have been trying to put me on to that for a long time, and I'm glad I finally read it, because it is beautiful and heartbreaking, and I think about the ending a lot.
Depressing as hell.
I think about it, and I think about how much I don't want to think about it, because that shit hurted. So
if I was like an actress that had to like make myself cry on command, like the Song of Achilles would probably be my go-to.
And I see lines from it on like TikTok and stuff like that, people being like, oh, why are you crying? And it's just I can't. It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody is gonna say their least favorite hot take, and we cannot pick books. Yes, we cannot pick books that we DNF'd, so I hope you guys didn't pick those books, because you just can't fully rate a book that you DNF'd, right?
We follow
Otherwise,
the rules.
we'd probably pick Book of Azrael or whatever. Yes. True. So mine is
forgot about
either it's a tie. A Fate Inked in Blood, or Funny Story. Those are my two. I didn't like them. I felt like they were written poorly. I'm sorry for saying that. And I feel like it's a hot take because a lot of people really love those two books. Like, I see a lot about them on TikTok. Like, you either hate it or you love it, and a lot of people love them. So I'm just also, I'm confused by, like, please tell me why. Let me know why you love them.
It's really baffling to me. I can kind of understand it for A Fate Inked in Blood because I think people get really excited about the Vikings part of it, the new like religious system that a lot of people are getting exposed to for the first time, and like I can see how that can carry that book. But funny story, I'm like, girlies, what are we talking about? Like, it was not good. It wasn't.
It's okay to have some fave authors and also not love everything they put out.
Yep.
If you go back to our previous episode, you'll see an example. Sorry. We love you, Carissa, and yet. But yeah, we can love Emily Henry and just admit that funny story kind of it was kind of missing something. So
it was mid. It was mid.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think probably honestly A Fate Inked in Blood would be my it frustrated me the most. But I also put One Dark Window. Which was like, I think it was like the first thing we read this year.
I think it was.
It haunts me because it felt like it had the most potential to be incredible, but the execution was just not there. We had underwhelming characters. We had plot points that were really cool, but just weren't developed. Like, we loved the nightmare and all that, whatever. But like, it just wasn't. I don't know. There was no punch. So for me, that was maybe like the most disappointing because I was really hyped about that book. Honestly, I thought it was going to slay.
I agree. And I was also thinking about One Dark Window recently. Just quick side note, like, especially for this time of year, for winter, like, I feel like it's a good read for like Yule. And it's just like dark, wintry, magic themes, and it's so cool. Like this disease and blah blah. Yeah. Really cool themes and just very disjointed though, I think, when it was actually written. So that's a sad L, because I agree. That one, I'm sad that it took the L. My other one would be A Fate Inked in Blood. I was not sad about A Fate Inked in Blood being bad. I just was like,
I was angry.
The sprayed edges on the book are really pretty, and I have that on my shelf, and I still kept it. So like, it's a beautiful cover. Shout out. But that's about where it ends for me. But that's mine.
That stuff.
Sorry, not sorry.
But all the love to those authors. Get your bag, queens.
Get your bag.
Yeah. Okay. If everyone has said their piece about their faves and their hater arcs, that is all the tea that we have for our favorites of 2024. Next time we're going to be talking about our anticipated reads of 2025. So definitely tune in for that to get a sneak peek on what we are planning for 2025. You can also stay up to date with the latest tea on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube by following us at Spill the Novel Tea on all of the things. While you're there, let us know what your favorites were and what is your biggest hater arc of the year. And bonus points if it's something that everyone else loves, because girl, join us on the boat, on the hater boat, because we need help. We're going to get sunk.
Yeah, big hater energy. It's okay to be a hater.
Yeah. We will see you next time. Bye.